I'm Carolyn Costello. We are now learning 3 Americans may have been kidnapped in Iraq. Local media say the 3 men are believed to have dual nationality and may have been visiting friends in Al-Dur, which is south of Baghdad. The men are believed to be Department of Defense contractors. CBS News has learned that last week the U.S. Embassy received information that an Iranian-backed militia group wanted to grab an American or an American contractor. That same source says officials had hoped the Iranian government would have told the militia group to hold off because of ongoing negotiations between the United States and Iran. The U.S. State Department says it is aware of the reports and is working with Iraqi authorities to find the missing men. Joining us by phone now is Mike Baker, a former CIA covert operations officer. Baker is the president and co-founder of Diligence, a company that has done work in Iraq. Mike, thanks for talking with us.
Sure.
Based on your experience, what is the situation for Americans working as contractors in Iraq like?
Well, it's always been a high-risk environment. It's always been a high-threat environment. It's actually more so now because of the drawdown and because, in a sense, say you take the period from 2003 on. For several years, there was a tremendous amount of resource, obviously, expended on security arrangements for contractors, security arrangements for our military personnel and for civilians working there as well. That has been reduced over the years as we've looked to create a lighter footprint there. At the same time, there's an increase in instability. There's an increase in conflict, both the sectarian conflict and also this proxy war that's been playing out at the hands of Iran, particularly in southern Iraq.
So you describe this decrease in security since, I think you said 2003. We know that these 3 missing men are believed to be translators working for contractors in the country. Mm-hmm. What kind of security do you think that they would have had at this point?
Well, typically, depending on the company that's employed the contractors and the translators, they have their own private security details. They have personnel. They have a security team that provides escort arrangements, that provides security at the compounds that the company rents on the site, and it varies. And the reality is, if you're talking about dual citizen translators, then typically their security is less, and also their movement is greater because, in part, they feel more comfortable in moving about, and in part because they have to move about. One of the jobs of the translator is, you've got to get out and about. So, it's a difficult situation. Part of the problem right now that's being addressed, as you pointed out at the very beginning, is who is exactly responsible. And frankly, it could be a number of groups.
Well, we do have some indication at this point that an Iranian-backed militia group may have been behind the disappearance of these workers. What can you tell us about Iran's influence in Iraq?
Well, this is the most influence they've had there in modern times, frankly. The Dora neighborhood, the area where the kidnapping of the contractors appears to have taken place, is the southern part of Baghdad, and in the past, it was a Sunni stronghold in a sense. I mean, there were a great number of Sunni family citizens living in that area. That's changed with the rise of the sectarian violence and instability over the past couple of years in particular. But the Iranian regime, through Hezbollah, has been essentially gaining influence and control over southern Iraq for some time now, and so. This is one of these things that's playing out, and people, I think, are going to be very confused because if they just read the top headlines over the past couple of days, they're going to think, "Hey, look, it's a brand new day with Iran. We're all friends and we're holding hands." That's not the reality of it.
Yeah, you make a great point. I think so. Mike Baker, thank you so much for talking with us. We appreciate it.
Sure. Thank you.